Welcome to Unloose the Goose. Well, I guess it's more Unleash the Geese, or however the singular goes. Oh, look, okay, boom, she's on. Okay, so on today's show, my system volume's got to come up. Okay, say something.
Hey.
You're there, Patty's there. Okay.
All right.
And we're going to have Neethi Bali on here too, maybe, but she's working her co-op shop while she chit-chats. So I think she's
my camera is all jacked up, so I'm restarting my computer. So we're on my phone to start.
Oh, you know what? It's funny. Your iPhone, that's an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
It's got better color.
It does.
Tonality or whatever.
Yeah, I may just leave it.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Well, it was Neethi's topic. She threw it out early this morning. Yeah, everybody's so freaked out with so much just FUD machine cranked up to epic proportion, right? Yeah. So everybody else is talking about that. Did you hear Jack's? I'm so lost on what day it was when he talked about Dorothy asking him.
Friday. Yeah.
That was Friday's show. Okay, so I'm back in time. Yeah, about Dorothy asking him if he with the real you really believe they're trying to tank the fucking ship.
Right.
And yeah, it was crazy. Candace and I had that same talk relatively recently, within a week or three.
Yeah.
No. It's clear to thinking people now.
Yeah, I'm putting this on a stand because
it's
get out of me if I don't. Okay.
And his comment about the pilots of the plane, right? All they got to do is just tip the stick down and boom, it's in the mountain before you can blink.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we are being run into a mountainside at full speed. So, yeah, maybe we should figure out the plan after we hit and we're in the jungle.
Right.
We're going to be there quickly, so we should just get on with it. Yeah. So her thing was about people being depressed, right? And
so
they're coming to see it now and then just too much to do, so you can't do it. So you freak out and do nothing and just spiral. So we got to shake people out of that. What do we got to do, Patty?
Okay. So this is all from, so one of the most vivid episodes that I remember of Jack's was when he had Glenn Tate on for his books, right? Early days. And I was driving to Front Sight, which is its whole drama right now. So don't talk about the Front Sight drama. But so I was driving to Front Sight in the middle of the desert, and he was talking about normalcy bias. And I think what we're seeing right now is people's normalcy bias shattering. And they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And I think if you've been if you've been in the government's bullshit, get out mindset already, I mean, I don't really find the feed started with you screaming.
I'm just going through. I'm going to get us caught up.
I missed that part.
But normalcy bias is real. I told that story on one of my first episodes of being in the Atlanta subway at the airport when the subway car literally caught on fire. The AC, I know electrical arcing, it arced and there was a fire in the AC system. So the cabin started filling up with smoke as we're coming into the next terminal, but it hadn't triggered the onboard alarm yet. So the doors literally opened and the dumb fucks were going to stay on to ride from B to C.
Oh my God.
I was in the, and literally the fucking thing's on fire, people. It literally stepped forward. And then literally as I started doing that, burp, burp, right. And then, step off the train.
Yeah.
So some people are good at spotting fires because maybe they've been through one before and they can smell the electrical arc.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what Jack did and kind of lit the fuse on people hey, I'm not often wrong. Right. And boop, boop. So now everybody's kind of okay, the keg's on.
Yeah. And I think, so he was also talking about the circle of control, circle of influence thing. And I have a friend who was really stressed out because the other parent was stressing the kids out about Ukraine. Dude, they're 6, 8, 10, little kids, right?
Geopolitics is no place for them. Here, Neethi's here.
Oh, yay.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Fantastic.
We'll get you up to speed. She's okay. So your friend's freaking out with about
So we're
the
talking about,
other
like,
parent
what's
telling
going
the kid about.
So I got a
what's
friend
going
who's freaking out. Well, she's not. The spouse is freaking out the kids.
About
And
what?
about Ukraine.
just
The
The distraction.
Yeah, and I said, well, what do you do about it?
Oh, you tell them it's lies. You tell them this is a distraction. This is how politicians play games, and we don't care. We're going to go do something else.
Right? Yeah, that, or if they're younger, I mean, mine's 6, right? So I tell him nothing. There's a news blackout in my house.
Right. Well, why do they even know any of this stuff? Like, we
Exactly.
don't watch TV, so I don't get it.
Right. So that's
the news blackout has to happen.
Yeah.
Once you realize, like that Jack's thing, right, where he talked about, like, no, they really are like pushing the stick down into the mountain.
Yeah.
So once you know that they are trying to spray you with toxic ick, like on purpose, you gotta stop. You gotta cut it off.
They've been doing this for years, everybody. Like, if you don't already know it, let me just say it officially.
Yeah.
So they have been trying to poison you, and also they want you to voluntarily participate, and you were choosing it. So you could just stop. You could just stop participating. You know how you do that? You take that lie box that just keeps talking whatever it's talking, throw it in the garbage. And then when you're on the internet, then you just have to be very discerning. And also, you know that lie about how you have to watch the news so that you know what's going on? No, you don't.
No.
Also, no, you don't really.
The bullshit screen will get through everything, and you'll know.
Yeah. Did you know that if you're just living your life day to day, you'll know what's going on?
Right?
It's the only thing you got to deal with. Like, whatever nonsense they're talking about in the lie box, it literally never affects me. It just doesn't. And everybody's like, well, what about, the gas and the this and the that? Okay, well, gas might be a little expensive right now or whatever. Also, not a big deal. Also, I don't care. Also, I'm prepared for them to have political wars with each other. I know the politicians are going to have this war and they're going to go up and down with taxes, and that's going to somehow affect me. And I'm also prepared for it. Also, don't care. Don't care.
Yeah, opting out of the care gives you a lot more like, does this affect me?
Well,
the other part of that is that you know that you're sideways.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to turn it, but I don't know.
Well, all I'm saying is that, when you don't put any energy towards caring about all the crazy stuff that they're talking about, then you remain joyful, happy, successful, focused on the real things, making money. Like, this is the time to go and make money, because they want you to be so confused and so lost in the chaos that you can't continue to make money. So go make money, a whole bunch of it. Yes. And then
it's if we voluntarily withdraw our consent to be shit upon, it runs out of energy, because if we turn back to it, right, and amplify it and re-talk about it, they're using us as antenna, as
amplifiers. They want us to amplify their negative energy. And if we amplify the joy and the well-being, then they just have to, they have no power then, because what they want is for us to be worried. What they want is for us to be stressed out and make bad decisions. And you do that when you think that, somebody's coming to get you. Well, guess what? If you turn that box off, ain't nobody coming to get you. If the box wasn't on, you wouldn't have known anybody was coming.
Wouldn't even know the blah blah that they were blahing about.
And everybody's supposed to have a right? So we talk about exit and build.
Xavier, he's been pounding on his project, and he's this close to getting his funding done to push the whole Firon thing forward.
We gotta get off the X. Get off the X. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Sorry I had to join late, but literally from meetings all morning, 7 a.m. We've got closing 4 different clients right now who are each going to pay licensing fees for the app. We've got a group of investors who need a valuation, and so with all of these clients coming in, it's like I'm closing the contracts and then sending it to get valued, so that the investors don't want a shit ton of the company, right? So to justify all it. So it's been a very busy and exciting day.
So you're in the Shark Tank part of the last hour now.
Well,
what's
see
that?
What X is doing.
You're in the Shark Tank part of the last part.
Yep. And then I got tomorrow as well. Is another big day, and I'm just super stoked. We're at a very really really exciting point right now.
Okay, so how are you not taking your eye off the ball?
Yeah.
I mean, all this bullshit's going on. Are you even talking about it, or are you just lasering on your project?
Dude, okay, so this is going to be really, really personal. So you guys know I've been hacked. I had lots of troubles and you know, a lot of setbacks and just like everything that's thrown in the book, everything in the book thrown at me, right? And my daughter, my 10-year-old daughter was like, Dad, you tell that story too much, right? And you need to tell a different story. You need to tell a different story. And you need to say, every day I win. And I literally almost fell apart crying, right? I'm like, you know what? You're right. 100%, my little angel, you are correct. And so like all day, my mantra has been, every day I win. And literally, like, I literally say it in the meetings and people like look at me askew, you know, but it's like, I'm carrying that energy because frankly, all the rest of this shit's falling apart. You know, we're having like, it just feels like society as we've known it and all of the social contracts that we've had and, you know, the governments and all of this nonsense, it's all kind of being exposed for the bullshit that it is. And in our Goose group chat, I thought John was going to be on here. He's like, how can you justify making tax evasion impossible? You know, and like the reality is, well, because what our system can do is make taxation automatic, but automatic in the form of transactions, right? Like every blockchain that you use, there's transaction fees. Every exchange you use, there's transaction fees. So we enable that and we say, you have no need for all of these other taxes, right? You just create an economy because a lot of our clients are governments, right? And like we're creating that as like a justification for decentralization and you know, transparency in government, so there's no corruption. But we're building one that's owned by the people for the people, and we're the only thing we're doing is taxing transactions. It's not even a tax; it's just a transaction fee. So we enable, you know, governments and clients to do that, not the other way around, not like exorbitant VAT taxes and all that bullshit. So, you know, John, he likes to, you know, try to claim I'm a New World Order operative.
Yeah, you know, someone's got to twist the knife.
Well, I'd rather see you.
I love it.
Here.
Yeah,
honestly.
Right.
So,
well,
someone's got to.
So
that's what I said.
Focused.
You saw that PM I sent you that said someone has to deal with the bankers. I won't do it anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
Somebody has to.
I mean,
I'd rather have you.
Yeah, your options are like, you know, Ripple, you know, and they're just totally fucking centralized. And then, of course, we've got all of our, you know, Bitcoin Cashes, and Moneros and Pirate Chain and all this. But, you know, at some point for this to become ubiquitous across the globe, there has to be like something that works, that's easy, that's secure, that protects everybody's privacy. And so that's how I stay focused. Is I say all of this shit that's falling apart, we're building what comes next, and that's that. Like I'm just keeping my eyes on that. So it's like the race car driver, you know, they don't get into an accident because they're not looking at the crash; they're looking at where they're going.
Yes, that was Mario Andretti's advice: find the hole in the smoke and pump the gas.
That's right. You're always got to find the hole.
There you go.
Yep.
Getting off the X. I got to say it again, Xavier.
It's
just
you know what?
through and get off the X.
Get off the X.
It's
I can't get off the X.
Xavier's like, I keep trying, but it's just on me.
Yeah, I'm mainlining the X.
It's how do you have joy in a effing crazy sadistic world? You just literally focus on
I just make it.
Fact of positiveness. Tell them what you're gonna do, and then go do it. And
go do it.
Fucking just go do it. I don't care. I'm gonna build my Smurf huts, and we're gonna.
This is the best time to do it right now. When everybody's doing crazy stuff, you just go and they're being distracted, so they're not even paying attention to you. So now you can 100%. Just go and blast through and like totally take over, and then they're gonna turn around and be like, "Whoa, where'd you come from?"
Yep. Can I say something to that?
Yeah, roll it.
Yeah, so I've been saying like I'm the tortoise in the hare of the blockchain space. Like all these people are all flashy and they're doing these big projects and they have all of this like hype around them, right? But their technology is inherently flawed and already obsolete. And they're in some cases taking governments or municipalities and literally putting them on chains that are not going to be helpful. Like what El Salvador is doing, great, but the technology that they're using, not so great, right? And so they're implementing, and it's like making all this hype and this news. And really, all I've been focusing on is getting these contracts and going and having the meetings with the right people, having the development teams ready to be able to accomplish these things, and just getting work done, head down, not making a big deal out of it. I even stopped baseline because it might get in the way of landing these contracts. So I have literally just been focusing on work. Let all the other people get the press. When it's time, we'll give them something to talk about.
I know, I haven't been doing any of my social or anything because I'm building all this stuff up for the church. I haven't done the only thing I have made time for is this show. Otherwise, I haven't been doing anything because I'm 100% focused, like laser focused on knocking all this stuff out. And it's just like, by the way, I would love to see all of you guys here October 15th for our very first Food Church Conference right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. So, and as far as
Nice.
There's a comment here that says that Freedom Media Corp says we need speakeasies. Well, guess what? That's what my food church can be anytime I'm ready for it. And I have said that.
Yeah.
I even taught it. Like I was at a workshop and me and Nicole were teaching people about speakeasies and how to set those up. And
watering holes are the best place to get info in your community. I mean, when you really want to know what's going on, you go down the street.
They don't understand the watering hole thing, Brian. They don't know that. You just provide the ice and the water, and then they bring whatever they want to mix with the ice and the water.
Yeah, you're providing a community space for adults.
Adults. You might even have some stash somewhere, for the right person who's in the know.
Oh man. Okay. So
no, I'm kidding.
My favorite restaurant in Seattle, El Gaucho. So back in the day when you could smoke indoors in Seattle, they had a whole wall of bank vaults exposed in the back room that were double keyed. So the maitre d' had the other key, right? And you bought a vault. So all the Seattle Sonics, the Seahawks all had vaults. And there was all kinds of rumors of what was in those.
They kept
vaults.
Their liquor in it?
Well, yeah, liquor.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever.
Sure, or whatever.
That wasn't on your property, right?
Sure.
Exactly
what it was. Yeah.
It was a great back room. But yeah, anyway, that's an idea, Neethi, a double keyed system. So no one's in possession.
Well, yeah. And you can have your secret entrance ways and you can have your 3 things in one place. And I like what somebody's saying in the chat about Mr. Rourke from Fantasy Island.
That is how I envision Camp Suniki. You tell me what you want to experience, and it just kind of happens.
We make it happen for you.
Yeah, you know what? I mean,
Suniki, is that like a play on sneaky?
Well, okay. So
Yeah.
My camp is on the Long Branch Peninsula, and it's called the Sunny Key. We have rain shadows over here where it goes around. So it is a sunny. It's 5 degrees warmer and 20 days sunnier than Seattle, but it's right across the way. So yeah, I was on a business call and I told somebody kids were in the car and where I was running down on my headset and I was like, yeah, we're on the way down to Camp Suniki or Sunny Key. And that's how it got repeated back to me in 7-year-old speak. Suniki. I was like, boom. We were looking for a native name to call it that was unique. And bam. That's so it's cool. Suneekee. Yeah. So Google that, Camp Suniki. It's on HipCamp. If you rent the place, you're going to rent 10 acres of my crazy wonderland, I think, for $19.
Wow.
No
if you want me to come out, PM me. I love bonfires and chainsaws.
And that's obviously a way to cut through the noise, right? Is to go connect with the land, get back to nature. I saw a TikTok of a friend of mine who at the very outset of the whole mandates and lockdowns, they just were fuck it. And they quit their job. They had started building their ecosystem, their homestead. It was by no means complete, but they went there and made it work, and they were working
there
overtime, but on their and they took a big hit financially, but they traded it off with food. They were making their own food, and they took that difficulty, right, turned it into an opportunity, and turned it into an opportunity to actually just do it. And they don't like pay attention to what's going on, other than the fact that they've noticed that all of the prices of their commodities are going up. All the food prices, fertilizer prices, every gas prices, and they're like, thank God we don't have to commute. Thank God we don't have to do, it's almost as if we can't get ahead in a little bit, they were saying, because, the little money that they were saving is now going to increase lumber prices and increased, fertilizer prices. Not
they don't have timber. They don't have timber on their land.
Oh, they do actually. I just don't know if they
know how to harvest it. They need to learn how to harvest it, but because if you're harvesting,
they'll get there. Switch computers.
Mother necessity.
They'll figure it out.
Oh, so there's nothing like being out in the middle.
Yeah, when you need to know it, you figure it out.
That's right.
And I
mean, one day they're going to wake up and look around and be like, wait a minute, we have timber. We can have our own lumber. Or, but I think that what they did, what's so brilliant about what he's saying that they did, about how they just went and did it right now immediately, is that the shit hadn't really hit the fan actually yet. And so because they did it already, they have the advantage of being able to pull things out of the civilized world still. If needed, worst case scenario, they're going to go into debt a little bit and come back into debt, and then the whole thing will collapse afterwards. Also, doesn't matter. They have their own land.
Getting rolling is if they just incorporate a little, anything they do to make some money on the side, right? As long as the thing that they're producing tracks with inflation. Their commodity costs of a small percentage of their income, what they can't produce, should be okay.
It's a great time for them to learn how to harvest timber, because as lumber prices keep going up, they're going to be really, really raking it in for themselves
and just producing anything.
Yeah,
actual production. Oof. All right, Dowie, your favorite agent is on the line.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good to see you.
Yeah.
What's up, Dowie?
Right. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Are you driving?
You too. I am.
Nice. That's some serious multitasking. I like it.
It's like serious rush hour traffic in South Florida. Not fun, especially since we've got 2/3 of the country down here right now.
Yeah.
I was just there. I was just there. It was so fun. I was soaking it up.
Nice. I haven't been there since 2019. The last time I was in Florida.
I don't think I'm allowed to tell my spring break stories. I have to check with my attorney.
Yeah, it's spring break, and we got all the people escaping the mandates, and we got everybody coming down for the winter. So it's 2 hours to take a drive that would normally take 45 minutes.
Oh my God. Well, COVID's over in Washington.
Get this. Today, Candace read me a story about people in Chicago. It used to be there was a real serious premium for being by the train stops and that, right? Because for commuting, but since people aren't commuting anymore, the price of that extra you would pay to be walkable to the regional transit station is evaporating.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's the proof of the actual structural change, and people aren't going into jobs anymore.
I was going to list my house on Craigslist in Los Angeles for $5 million or something, or $500,000. I don't know, something like that. 500,000. That's what I was going to do, and just see if someone wanted to buy it, because they would see an acre and lake rights, and your west border is a river. You know what I mean?
You put that on Craigslist. I will bet you something. Now let's bet $10 of crypto. You do a good ad with some good pictures that look seriously like you want to sell it. How would you? Yeah. I bet you go 1.5 million. I bet you get an offer within.
You know what it's worth?
The tax guy probably says what, 500,
380.
Okay. Yeah.
Not even. That's high.
They put it up for 1.25 then.
Yeah.
That's 4 times. And the thing is, on the West Coast, Craig's, all the Chinese are hit just the Chinese money that needs to get out of China. When they closed Vancouver, So they didn't close Vancouver. So Vancouver, Canada, put a 50% tax on if you want to buy property, but you're not Canadian. So you would buy $1 million condo, you would have to write a check for $1.5 million because 500,000 would go to the government for a non-citizen tax. So the day they put the 50% tax on offshore citizen investment in real estate, Seattle exploded.
Wow.
Like literally they were calling dudes I know that said like, run over near Microsoft. If this house is literally standing, we're wiring you the money. When you get there, tell us if the house is up, the money's in the account. Wow. So, because there's a lot of millionaires in China. I mean, numbers wise, right? And they're going to get them GTFO on their money. I mean, it's a prison planet and they're just better at prisoning people.
There's a large Chinese population within 45-minute drive of my house. So there you go. Because I'm 45 minutes from Boston. I'm 25, 30 minutes from the ocean. Come on now.
Throw the ad on. I dare you.
An hour from the White Mountains.
The problem is then you got to go.
I know.
If
you give me 1.2 million, I'll go. See you later.
Yeah. Buy farm.
I'm not a farmer anymore. That's not true. I would still do it. That's the problem.
No,
Well, actually, I'd sell the microgreens business.
So what are you doing to stay focused and not pay attention to all the bullshit? Or are you paying attention to the bullshit? That's what we've been talking about.
I'm not doing well at it. I'll tell you that. No, I mean,
Dally, you were down last week. Are you better now? Because you were really like affected by it.
I'm high stress, but it's very related to the uncertainty of business, whatever. And then today my wife hurt her back, so and it's just us. So it was like, here we go. We have an 8-month-old, or almost 9 months, I guess. Yeah. And he's now walking as of a couple weeks ago. So it's been interesting. And then I have people coming to buy barrels that 60% of them don't fucking show up. It drives me insane. But and then whatever. Anyway, no. So I'm okay. I got my freezers in, my 2 new freezers, and I'm looking at a 3rd used one. So I'll have
walk-ins.
No, I wish. Oh, that'd be so awesome.
I mean, I'm looking for walk-ins, and you know what I don't understand is anybody out there, if you can get, what I want is containers that have walk-ins built. I want the walk-ins in the container.
You know about the farm bot, right?
Like a shipping container?
Yeah, I want a shipping container, and preferably, I mean, I need one, a 10-footer, which is half. I know they're 20 and 40, but like I need it to be 10 or 2 10s. And I've ordered them. I ordered twice, and both of the companies went out of business. What in the world? Huh. And then the only other one is like the Polar whatever something, and they only lease them, and they won't let me buy one. I'm like, don't you have an old one I can buy? And they won't let me buy one. They'll only let me lease it for like $1 million. And I'm just like, are they being monopolized? Like, what is happening?
Maybe.
And I need it in a container because
isn't the farm bot the thing that turns the air conditioner into?
Yeah, but I don't think you have to spend that money on a farm bot. I think you can buy an Inkbird temperature controller and a piece of heat tape, and you can make an air conditioner do what you want. I was actually just talking to my server.
Yeah. So go away from the commercial solutions and rig up a solution. That's
so for us, the farm bot. For us to build the container into it, it used to be you could get containers for like $2,000 and $3,000, right? Like to build out. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, they went way up. You know what you should do? Huh. Look for like a 10 by whatever you're looking for.
They're all like 8 by 10 or 8 by 12.
Yeah, but restaurant going out of business.
Look for an enclosed trailer, like a reefer trailer, right? And then insulate the shit out of it, and then do the farm, like kind of the farm bot idea,
right?
Or you could probably get a condenser for a walk-in cooler used from a restaurant.
Well, I'm happy to get I'm happy to get like a used reefer truck.
Yep.
Because even if the truck doesn't work, I mean, I'll tow that thing around. I don't care. But like my big deal is that I don't want to invest anything in this brick and mortar that I'm leasing. Like I need it to be that I can just move it anywhere. I mean, I have a friend with a flatbed. We could tow that wherever we want. Like
I
would look
the investing in brick and mortar is why I don't have a walk-in.
Well, okay, yeah. So my big deal right here, Dowie, is that I was forced out of my home. because of the mob that was risen. And so because I was forced in a commercial space, then I'm limited until I can move out onto some land so that we can, so we're working on all of those things, which just, it's just pivot. But
we're talking about buying land right now because I'm in the middle of that.
Say what?
I'm in the middle of buying land right now. It's 2008 all over again, guys.
Is it just crazy?
Oh yeah, it's really hard. It's crazy. Like I'm looking at, so we're actually looking to take over, an agritourism business if there's one that wants to sell, because that would be better for what I want for the church,
Yeah.
But anyway, don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to be good. But Dowie, you need to really know that your thoughts become things, brother. And I'm here to be your friend and be like, come on, Xavier, he needs to hear your some preaching from Xavier, the pastor Xavier.
Oh, so if you can hear me, John, what she's saying is that earlier, my daughter, my 10-year-old, said to me, she's like, Dad, you keep telling the same story about how you got hacked and lost all this money and people tried to kidnap you and stuff. And she's like, that's a very sad story. You need to say something like, I win every day, or every day I win, and stop telling yourself that story. And like that hit me like so hard, and I like teared up a little bit, and I was like, you know what, Kaya, you're right. And so literally all day today, I've been like, every day I win, and literally in every meeting that I'm in, I'm saying this, and the people that I'm in the meeting with are like, okay, and then continue on business. But it's
every day I
win,
no matter what.
To really feel and understand every day I win in some way, shape, or form.
That's right. John Dowie, you got to win, brother.
Yeah, I do have my friends know me well, that have known me for a long time. They know that I'm like, a little bit more, off the G-rated version, but it's like I always fucking win. That's what I used to say to people all the time. So
that's right.
I do that. No,
Don't
I just
forget it.
It's a tough time of the year. March is tough for us. It's like farm's starting to fire back up. The barrels are starting to fire back up. Everything's firing back up. And then there's all this weird uncertainty. And then I'm trying to stay ahead of that, which is fine. But it's like, it's also just a lot of work, like literally physical work that needs to get done.
Right.
And then I haven't been feeling wonderful the last few days. I've had this weird sinusy ear thing going on. And it is what it is. You push through, fine. But like, I don't know, man. It's just piling up. And then I made this stupid mistake of going out Sunday night and accidentally getting drunk.
Accidentally.
And then I basically posted like 25% of Monday.
Yep.
That didn't help anything.
It happens
some
sometimes.
days, like it's hard picking your own path and doing it yourself, because there's nobody else to fall on. There's no like sick days. It's like if you take a sick day, it's on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and
nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to help. Nobody's
that's
coming.
Another reason.
Yeah.
That's another reason. That's another reason to stay focused and cut out all the noise, right? Like it's hard enough keeping a positive mental state and being on, and then when you have all of this nonsense in the world telling you like, oh, everything's falling apart, gas price is this, fuck that country, screw that country, like it's just too much, you know? Like no narrative. Do
right.
He was right.
But he's right. Like X is so right. Like, you just got to turn on. You got to have a thing, John. Like your thing. Like I have some stuff that I listen to. I have it saved actually on my YouTube in a folder just for me, and it's just like my positive stuff that I want to listen to. That is just going to help me get going again. Because, hey, brother, you're not alone. We all just like we're just like, fuck it. Let's just go get some bourbon and just.
Yes.
Do you ever see the fuck it meditation on YouTube?
No. What is that?
You got to look that up. It's fantastic.
Okay. I'm going to look it up.
So,
like, it's like some guy and he goes, he's like, he sounds like your regular, like hippie meditation guy. And he's like, I want you to take a deep breath. And then I want you to think for yourself as you exhale, fuck all this bullshit. And he does like, it's like 20 minutes and it's great. There's like 7 or 8 of them, and it's good stuff. But no, I'm okay. It's just busy this time of the year, and I get a little stressed. But I'm fine. I am in a good spot, food prep wise, though. I'm happy about that. That's one thing I've been working on. Like going into Corona, we were probably in a good place, but I didn't have a number on it, And
okay, hang on. you were just talking about your taking a day off and it being so effing busy, right? And the constant stream of shit right now.
Yeah.
We've helped all these people start small businesses.
And now they can't take
this
it
is
off
their
either.
first time of like going through. Yeah, no, don't take your eye off the ball. Like, it's so like vacation.
Right.
Like, oh, we're trying to get you to like, don't turn it off. Like, turn it off.
Oh,
focus forward.
Yeah. Well, I am working on some things to configure my day-to-day stuff so that because I have a child now, I do have to start taking a day off, right?
You need to be able to just flip a switch and take 2 days.
We've got 3 kids, okay? Yeah. And we lost one too. So I'm just telling you that all you need to do that anyway. Like that needs to be incorporated in your work. So my kids are incorporated in our work. So we don't do a regular schedule. It's a lifestyle. You have to make it your lifestyle. On the land, shoot. I mean, your job isn't turning off on one day and on the rest of the time. I mean, and I don't have a farm, but I'm married to all these farmers. Everything. I mean, 12 years. I've been doing this for 12 years. Mm-hmm. I don't have a break because there is no break because the milk is always coming every day. The eggs keep coming. I mean, everything keeps coming all the time, no matter what. I just got to keep moving it. So
I want to be able to take him fishing or something or a camping or whatever. I just want to be able to work that out. And my wife needs a mental break from everything. She's not like,
you got to have that. You got to have a routine. But that's what I'm trying to say to you is that I have a routine. We have personal blocks of time that are not negotiable. They're not negotiable.
Yeah. And I need to work to get that worked out. It's the problem because before the baby, I'm just like a workaholic. And it's at one point I was dealing with some depression and I realized the way I pushed through that was just like, I'm just going to work nonstop. And that way I won't do anything bad, So, and that worked. But now it's like, well, now it's time to shift gears because I think that's okay now.
It's got to be balanced and disciplined.
Yeah. So it is what it is, but we're okay. Like I said, we're working. My thing, how am I adjusting right now is I think I've got us into a spot food prep wise where now I can be the guy that goes, oh, look, it's on sale. We can stock up on that. I don't have to go, we need to get more of this right now, which is great. And I didn't have to do anything crazy price wise to get there. I lined up a pig this week. So we're getting a pig. Well, the pig's going to come in little cryovac packages, but no.
It's so funny too. Like somebody said to me, someone who I'm coaching was like, "Oh, what am I going to do? My meat, I'm going to need whatever." Let me just I want to say something else out there to everybody. Mr. Global is not going to let us not have power. I'm going to just let you know why. Because the only way for them to control us is that little idiot box, the lie box that keeps telling you what to do, and they're not going to risk you not having that because guess what? If you aren't being told what to do by the idiot box, you might actually go make friends outside. If you go outside and you start making friends, going out and making friends, then you might just mafia it up real quick. And the next thing you know, then they have an opposition and they will not allow that to happen. So one thing I know for sure, and I mean, that doesn't mean I don't have my solar power generators and stuff like that. I'm just saying I'm pretty confident that is never going to be necessary or else they're going to lose a grip on all the slaves that they have out there right now. And they just don't want to risk it. So you can call me what kind of theorist and conspiracy, whatever bullshitter. You can call me all kinds of names if you want to. But what I know for sure is they need you to have power so you can let the little boxes and gadgets and stuff tell you what to do or else how are you going to do? How you going to know what to do?
That's a really good point. If we don't have power, we're not consuming all the bullshit,
crap, all the lies, all the terror,
potato chips, and the all the.
Imagine a day without blue pill commercials.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good point.
To remind you what you're not capable of. To just keep the man down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was laughing with the gas. I mean, I've done the Jack Spirko thing with the 12 gas cans and the rotation and the thing, and I made myself do that like right at the beginning of COVID. Costco they're shitty, but they got gas cans, and I was like, fuck it, and I bought like 12, right? And so when all this started happening, I was like, whatever, it's fine.
Now, because you did something, take action, do stuff. It'll make you feel better.
I mean,
I
my
do
whole thing
bigger.
is that just means I got to go make more money. So whatever, I'm just going to be doing that while everybody else is cribbing and crying, like always, right? Everybody's always like, "Oh, woe is me, this happened and that happened." Okay, well, while y'all all crying over here, I'm just going to go ahead and handle the business over here, and and everybody else is folding their business. Obviously, I need to go into making some freaking, you know, those farm bot things or whatever. I need to just start I can think of 10 businesses I need to start right now because people who have stuff that I need aren't around. And so I must obviously need to be in that business.
Well, and inflation, if you're a producer, I mean, inflation sucks and all the things, but if you're a producer and you're keeping your prices up with whatever it needs to be, then I mean, for me, I said this on another podcast. I said, you know, my spending is done. I took my student loans out in 2006. Okay, those payments aren't getting any bigger, and as long as I can make sure my income kind of keeps pace with what's going on, it's better for me because I have more, right? Because 2006 student loan payment isn't going up ever. So, I mean, use it to your advantage.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Get your expenses fixed.
Right?
Fixed, and as things inflate, your expenses get to be a tinier and tinier portion.
Right.
The inflated number.
I'm struggling with increasing my prices right now because I already charge $10 a dozen to people for duck eggs and 12 to a restaurant.
And the interesting thing is,
I don't know if I can go up any higher.
But your competitors that don't, right? Because I saw your calculation on your feed about you need a certain price per pound to make it worthwhile. And you were coming down. But the guys who don't do that math won't give a shit, and they'll keep selling at the rate that's not sustainable.
I know. I deal with it every year.
They'll all go out of business, though.
So don't compete.
But there's someone new.
No,
there's someone new every year. So like that's something that the reason we're slowly exiting duck eggs is because every other year some jackass comes in and says, "Oh, look, there's room in the market to sell duck eggs." And then they don't know what they're doing and they charge $5 or $6 a dozen. And then the next year they're gone. But all they do is fuck up my sales for a year.
Right. You deplete their bank account into the market.
Yeah, but there's no way for me to continuously do this forever. And with that ebb and flow all the time. So we're just.
Are you sure? Because you know I do that, right? I've been doing it for 12 years. So I mean, are you sure? Are you sure?
No, I mean, sure I can, but the effort involved in producing this many duck eggs is just not worth it anymore. It's not a thing.
I think it's like Xavier's comment about like today I'm gonna fucking win.
Yeah.
If you just set the target on the duck eggs, if you are going to do it, win. So whatever that means, right? And if
winning, I think, is getting the hell out of duck eggs,
or finding the clients who want them.
That's right. You make them commit. Like I have everybody committed, so they're committed.
It might mean getting the hell out of it, but there might be somebody who wants home delivery to a really expensive zip code that's really willing to pay because you speak English and.
Or they just want to know they're going to have duck eggs. They want to have consumer confidence enough to know that they're going to have them all the time, no matter what anybody does. And they're willing to make a commitment to you so that you don't go out of business like everybody else all the time.
So now you're going for the 0.5% of clients.
Yeah, I have those customers. Yeah. So when I say get out of duck eggs, I don't mean we're going to have 0 ducks. I mean like we're not going to have 70. We're going to have 24.
Right. Well, because you diversify your livestock, so you have.
I intend on continuing to supply those people because I know that those people buy from me because of allergies and whatever, and I don't feel like kind of a dickhead
quality.
Like, you're out. So
yeah.
So we're basically what I mean is downsize this flock to a point where it's so easily managed, and it's not so labor intensive. Because right now the way it is like we're not doing it right, frankly. Like we're doing it right, but it's like
you're not efficient.
It involves a lot of wood chips and moving shit around and shoveling and a loader.
Yeah,
and blah, blah, blah,
you're not efficient. That's what.
Yeah, I don't like it that way. We don't have enough land for what we have. So without a lot of inputs, and when we do that, and it's okay, but it's not something I want to continue to do because the amount of labor involved in maintaining it is just not worth the payoff. And there's other things I can do to make money, like sell barrels or whatever, sell more microgreens and so on. That I'm wasting all this time managing fucking a duck flock that doesn't have any return right now.
Right. But yeah, it's the me clients, because I'll tell you, like, I mean, I'm in Brian's coffee club because I know whether I drink that much coffee every month or not, I have a supply of coffee and I don't have to worry about it. And then they make awesome gifts and like I'll take some to my neighbors And like I took some to my aunt's when I was in California last month, and like it's like, and so I have a neighbor just down the way that's doing ducks the way you are, John, and I'm just gonna sign up for her egg whatever, and they'll just show up at my house, and you will either eat them or I'll bake something, or I'll impulse buy a freeze dryer. I mean, that could happen. I don't know. So, but
freeze dryer. You need
to freeze dryer because Nicole is famous for freeze drying some duck eggs. Girl, she got some duck egg jars of powdered duck eggs for days.
An awesome friend of ours here in the Pacific Northwest, up on Brian, what island is she on? I forgot. She's got one, and it's probably like an hour and a half drive for me, but like I could totally make that pilgrimage once a month.
Yeah.
Like
I have freeze dryer is one of those things I have to resist buying.
I know.
Resist it because I do not have a place for it, but I want one. It's like a welder. Like I want a welder, but I have to resist.
I totally agree.
And Bobby Joe's like, she makes jerky so she can barter it.
That's perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a solid currency. Come on, guys. It's a solid currency.
Yeah, I can jams and jellies and pie filling because I can't resist growing way too much shit in my garden for 3 people. And so I can't help myself. The green thumb is one of the things that I inherited. It's just, I'll be like, I'm going to grow 2 tomato plants. And it's like 6, and I have 100 pounds of tomatoes.
No, that's incredible.
It's bad. So I can the rest and barter, or I'll pop up at the farmer's market and sell the rest or whatever. It at least I break even. At least,
If you were near me, I would need it in the food church over here.
Oh yeah.
That's where homesteaders who are doing what you're doing like that, they should find me and bring some of that stuff and just ask me what's missing, and or can I use some of that because that's their favorite and they need it and they want some, but they don't need 100 million pounds of it. So if you're doing something like that out there and you're near me in Raleigh, you need to come find me.
Go find Neethy. And we're going to start doing pop-ups at Brian's again, pop-up makers markets. And so we're going to have that.
Make places for people to connect and trade. Okay, so Xavier, how you're the financial wizard of the money
of
system.
all of us, yeah.
What percentage of Americans need to like turn their back and understand that buying plastic shit for growth is what keeps the machine grinding? What percent have to like just voluntarily kind of stop the growth to make it stop?
Uh-oh. Is he thinking?
Are
X, are you there?
Can you hear us, X?
So I don't know. It keeps going in and out, and I'm like,
oh, you're getting faded. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
We're asking you to talk about financially. What's the question, Brian? You said
when we all decide to start bartering amongst ourselves, right? We are not transacting through the system, so we're not producing sales tax, we're not producing income tax, we're not producing Visa MasterCard fees, right? So the system requires growth to function. So what percentage of us need to start interacting with ourselves to really put the dagger in the fucking heart of this thing? When does it break? Like when 10% of us start interacting amongst ourselves?
So that's cutting in and out.
20, is it done?
Yeah. Well, there is this movement to use cash only on. There is this movement to use cash only on Fridays. Like every Friday, don't use your credit card, use cash. And if like a certain percentage of us did that and like it grew as a thing, it wouldn't stop the beast system that's happening and growing up around us, but it would slow it down enough for us to get ourselves together, right? In terms of like a body populace to come up with a different solution. I think that bartering is like number one, 100% the way to go, because there is no cash taking place in there. There's no transaction fee, no sales tax, right? But as a way of scaling, like how do you scale that? I know that there are like crypto projects that are looking at bartering, but even then you end up creating a coin or a token.
It depends what your goal
trade.
is.
It's hard to scale bartering, especially once you get past your geography.
There's that whole thing about like the anthropologists, like once
like a local homesteading thing, 100%.
Fuck.
Every time. But
Okay,
you got to give him props for like, he's trying to be.
He gets close, and then the feds like just nuke him.
It seems like he has such a great connection while everybody else is talking.
Yeah.
Then it just goes away.
I think we make an effort to try to let him talk when he is on, so that we can stop, and then he just drops off after.
Okay, go.
There's a big thunderstorm that I'm about to drive through, so that's why it keeps dropping.
That's fun.
Yeah, so the bartering thing, if you're not trying to scale like an entire ecosystem or economy, like barter the fuck out of everything. Trade your duck eggs for the meat. Like I'm trying to set up that network here in South Florida right now, just for my family, right? Like what can we provide in terms of services, and then what can this person get? And, kind of creating these networks so that we can get our meat, for instance, from the local farm instead of from the grocery store. Like 100% that I encourage that. I think that that's a great way to go. But when you're talking about economies of scale, like cryptocurrency is the only thing that I know that you can actually, have. And then even then, the way we solve it, right, with Firon is we create a cooperative membership club. So it's a private membership club, and there is no sales tax because everybody's part owner of the company, and it's like an intercompany transfer. It's not like selling a product to somebody, right? Yes. It's literally partitioning this product to this division of the company rather than like outside of the company. So there are creative ways to do this, and I think that that's something we as a community need to look at.
Well, business owners definitely need to look at it. I'm over here in the chat talking about what I do because I want people to be able to think about that. But if you're a business owner, then you should be leveraging all the ways that you can do that. And I was saying that, like, any homesteaders that, like, Dowie, if you were close to me, I would want you to bring your duck eggs and we could barter them for, something that you need for your family. So that affected, even if it's something you want to add to your customer base, like we could do something of that nature. Yeah. And Patricia, like, anything you're creating, anything you're artisan crafting or whatever, you could come barter that with me for the livestock that you might not have room to raise out where you're at or whatever's going on. So, I definitely do that here.
Well, there's an awesome backyard farmers market kind of near me that I got invited to last year. That was really, really fun. That she invited me and Brian both actually to come for this season, and so I think we should try and look at like Food Church West, for sure. That would be super fun. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be teaching the affiliate program. I'm gonna be launching my affiliate program this fall.
Awesome.
At the conference. So, I just needed more time to get things. People are just bombarding me, and I'm like, dude, I know y'all want this, but let me just tell you, until I can show you the economics of it, like perfectly, because I am like a no nonsense kind of person. I'm not going to half-ass give you something. Like, it's going to be all the way. And so I want to make sure it's correct, and there's some glitchy stuff. And if my board members are pointing it out, I'm going to clean it up, and I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied with where it's at. So I just want it to be cleaner. And some of it is just that there's, how when you've created something, you've been doing it yourself for so long that you can't remember every little itty bitty, because I haven't like created an SOP for it. Like I'm actually in the creation of that for people to be able to, to really see it. And they keep finding a hole. And so until it's completely ironed out, I don't know. I'm glad we're finding the holes before, I'm hoping, I'm sure there might be a possibility of holes after, but hopefully we'll have thought of all of them by then.
That brings me to a question for you guys. So it's a two-part question. One, because I work the same way. It's got to be dialed in perfect before I'm going to release that into the wild. Or I won't do it because I'm not going to put my name on it.
Right.
So are you noticing that there is I'm just noticing it, but there is a rash of people who don't know how to do their fucking jobs. One.
Yes.
And how do you deal with them when it's like a service or a good or a thing that you like, you got to have? Like, how do you like, you can move on or create it yourself? I'm just interested to hear what you guys are seeing in the market right now, because all I see is people who don't want to fucking work.
So Bobby J. Woods is talking about perfectionist paralysis. And I just want to say to that point, I'm not a perfectionist. I'm not paralyzed by that. I am absolutely moving 100 miles an hour, but I will not put anything out there that looks like crap. or that isn't 100% solid. Like, you have to be able to understand it. But yeah, and as far as what you're saying, Patricia, I mean, I have been dealing with it a lot recently, and it feels like they're collapsing faster as a side effect of it. And I think that is what's happening in this cleansing that's going on. Like right now, everybody thinks that this is a war, or I don't know, whatever. I mean, World War III started right after World War II. You just didn't know about it. But if you pay attention to what I keep screaming about, this Flexner report, I know everybody keeps sick and tired of me saying it, but I mean, when you look it up, then you'll notice that World War III started right after World War II and or before. I mean, it was a whole plan. It's a whole agenda. If there's constant war and turmoil and chaos and, you know, threat, they have to make these threats up. It's all lies. Like, nature has none of this. But all the fake jobs, you know, you're talking about the ones that weren't good at their jobs, but, you know, like if you were only ever trained to like do cubicles or whatever it is, then, you know, sorry, brother, it was a fake job. You know, you weren't actually, if you weren't doing anything that was tied to the soil in some way, the only wealth there is comes from the soil somehow. Sorry, but it's the truth. And if it's not coming out of the soil, then, you know, or maybe the ocean, I guess, you know, but if it's not of the earth, then it's, you know, it's fake. It's you know, we made it up. And, or you take something and craft it. Like when you make a light fixture, you've taken the, you know, the mineral and you've, you know, refined it to the metal, and you've, you know, now you've forged it into something else. Right. But if it isn't any of those things, I hate it. I hate to tell you, you know, it's fake, and all that stuff is collapsing. And those people are going to need to learn, John Dowie, what you know how to do, or what anybody else knows how to do. So if you're not doing anything else, then you should be teaching, like your jam classes. Girl, I don't know what you're doing, but you got to teach somebody.
I know.
Whatever it is, you know,
I got to do one.
You got to do it. But yeah. And also they need to learn your negotiation skills. Actually, Patricia, that's even more important.
I know you an email, but I know you're slammed. So
yeah. Yes. I definitely need to talk to you about several things.
For sure.
And I'm waiting to clean stuff up before I bring you in. I won't even show it to you because it looks stupid. Like, until I can show it to Patricia, everybody, you're not going to see it. Okay.
So don't you think it's about people, like, they got told to go get like fucking college degrees in some stupid shit that they went and got to get their mom happy, that they never liked,
that's totally useless.
They're doing jobs to get money, right? And not doing a job because they want to do it at all. There's no mind in this human. There's no mind on the project, even just filling out the forms.
But Brian, that's the job, right? Like, I'm always saying you should work, not do a job. There's a difference. What's the difference? The difference is, in a job, someone is telling you what you're worth,
or what to do, or what the.
But they're telling you what you're worth, right? They're creating your worth.
But that's what 12 years and then 4 more years did to everybody. That's why they're like that. That was Patricia's question. Like, why?
But when it's your work, Patricia, when you're creating if you're the electrician and you're doing the work for yourself and you're helping somebody because they need your expertise as an electrician, for example, you know, then you're more valuable. And you also don't put a cap on what you can earn. Right. Because you're just going to make as much as however many people you can satisfy.
Yeah. I mean, even in like the legal market, when I started out, it was a job and I hated it. And it was horrible.
Right.
And then I went, okay, wait, let's do something else. And then I got on the other side of it to where I'm like helping people get out. Like, how can we get out of the system?
Right.
And use all the stuff that I've seen and had to live through and all the like abuse from horrible working situations. Like, how can I take that and make sure nobody has to go through that? Because people say, oh, sue this person and sue this person. Like, if you've never lived through a lawsuit, it will suck your soul out of your face and you will die. Like, it's the worst. It's horrible. So, you know, there's a great Abraham Lincoln quote, and he's like, don't discourage litigation. If the whole thing is about so when you can turn your job into, you know, a vocation, a thing that
your own work.
Right. Your own work. You turn your job into work. But you have to think, and I think I'm shocked because I'm going through this underwriting process for this stupid ass house, and I haven't financed anything big since 2014, and not only has it not changed, the people in the industry think you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
like,
they don't know what they're talking about, probably.
Yeah.
It's painful.
It's real bad.
This is like, do you even know? Do you even know?
I mean, typos and decimals in the wrong place, and I'm like, no.
So if you want to know how I deal with incompetency, I guess we're assuming like people in their jobs, right? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah.
I just go into everything assuming that everyone is going to fuck everything up, and I make sure I give enough lead time for that and enough. I learned, it was probably 3 years ago. I was like, I had this moment where I freaked out. Of course, I know you're surprised. My poor wife is in the room, and I'm like, I fuck up enough of my own shit. I don't need everybody else screwing up for me too, you know, like, I took that and I had a moment and I went, I've got to start building this in to the situation. I've got to start building in, like, I got to assume that when I order a thing online, the fucking wrong item's going to show up, or like it's going to be broken, or it's going to be late, or whatever. You have to build in all these ridiculous fail safes, because, and to speak to what Brian's saying, I mean, we have our current political problem for the same reasons. We have however many decades of just brain dead fucking schooling, okay, where they just churn out indoctrinated idiots that can't think for themselves and have no real practical skills unless they had good parents, which is less and less every year. So you just have to assume that almost everybody you're dealing with is just some idiot, you know, like that. It sucks. I hate to be that person. I'm bad at that, because when someone comes to my house to buy something from me, I always just assume they're like me, even like politically or whatever you want to call it. Like, I just assume everybody is a fucking anarchist agorist, and I'll just start talking to them about that, and they're totally not.
They're like, what?
But what I'll find,
this is my favorite.
I find that most people will just go along with it, which is amusing to me, because I walk away and I go, that guy totally voted for fucking Joe Biden, but he 100% agreed with everything I said. I don't know if it's because
I need these duck eggs, brother. I
don't know if it's he needed a barrel, or if it's because I'm 6'3" and 265 pounds and I look like I'm angry half the time, like whichever it is, or if he just wanted to get by without dealing with whatever, right? And I think people.
Well, most of them are not. They have no conviction, Dowie. They don't know. You know what? They don't, and then they don't understand. Like, if they have no conviction, then they have no. You know. Oh man, I just lost my vocabulary.
No, it's mindfulness.
Yes.
That's what it is. Yeah. It doesn't matter what the fuck you're doing. When I did put toilets in the RVs, it was going to be done effing right. The problem,
you hope that will be anyway.
whatever you are doing, you can do it like a jerk off and not give a fuck. And 50-50, it goes right. And most of the time it does. Or you can actually think about the thing you're doing while you're doing it, like a little attentiveness.
Most people have. Go ahead.
I built this into this purchase. Mm-hmm. I built in like, okay, I'm not going to get in the middle of fucking escrow and have all this shit go wrong again.
You can ask them ahead, and they're like, what?
You know how much time I gave them? You want to know how much time? 6 months, okay, before I pulled the trigger on the contract. I am no shit, like 3 weeks out from my closing date, and it's still wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like.
It's follow-up. It's constant like.
Right.
I hate to be that person. Like, it's like when the Asian lady calls you and asks you a question and you give her the answer she didn't want to hear, so she just keeps fucking asking you. Yes. I find that's an Asian thing.
My husband.
Like, well, you have to be that person. Unfortunately, you have to ask, like, hey, did you do this thing, or is this situation? And when they answer you, if they don't give you the exact answer you were looking for, and it's a little off, assume they have no idea what they're talking about.
It's my favorite. So buyers are liars.
This is true.
You have to internalize that.
Yeah.
Is this like coffee is for closers?
Right?
No, it's a real estate thing, actually. But
Buyers are liars, and as
They
soon, well, it's like sunk cost fallacy and all that. Until you've
Yeah.
owned a business and put like 10 or 20 grand into a thing that you're literally going to piss on and flush,
right,
you don't get sunk cost fallacy until you've lived it and cried it once.
right.
Once you get buyers are liars, they
Yes.
are not intentionally lying to you. It's like a house.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
They are not consciously lying to you. It is
they just think they know what they want and they don't.
Oh, well,
right.
you know,
That's
Dowie,
what
we're
it
going to
is.
tell you that we want this many
That's what
duck eggs and we want it all the time. And you can't go out of business with the duck eggs because whatever
It's
for the duck
it's
eggs.
their wish, right? They're
Right.
telling you their wish, not
Right.
their reality. And you
And then they go, but we don't really eat them every day. I thought I was going to do more baking or whatever nonsense. Oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, I cannot listen to you at all because you don't
it's
know what
why Jack won't do consulting, right?
Right.
That's the same reason I stopped doing medical cannabis consulting, because like or even you can't make water hot any faster. It's effing math. Watts, milliliters, time. Like it
Well, and that's financing. I sent my shit in and I was like, pull my fucking credit and give me the best deal you can give me. That's all. I don't really give a shit what the deal is because I'm gonna have so much equity once I buy this thing. I'm gonna refi it anyway. I don't care. And I wrote that out. I don't give a shit. Just pull my shit and write me a loan. I don't care what the terms are. So the fucking thing kept changing. And I was like,
Yeah. On the minute.
Stop. So I requoted it and it's going to be fine because I don't buy into the sunk cost fallacy. And I know, you know, I now know to trust my gut. Right. So, but 5 years ago, I probably would have been like, yeah, no, and lost a bunch of money. Right. So it's mind blowing to me in the mortgage industry, how much it shrunk after 2008 and how much that shit's still going on. Like,
oh, well, they're never actually going to fix anything. They don't give a fuck.
No.
They know they'll get another bailout or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to realize most people, right? They're babies and they're controlled by their parents, right? And then they go to school and they're told what to do for up to they're about 22 years old. And then generally most people marry someone right away and they expect that person's going to tell them what to do for the rest of their life. So nobody really makes a decision for themselves. Nobody really can build their own skill sets necessarily. They're told what to do at work. They're told what to do by their spouse, who also is looking for someone to fucking tell them what to do, right? So that's when the real disaster happens, when you get those two people together, which is the majority of Americans, and they are looking to each other to be told what to do. And then you wonder why everybody fights, because nobody knows what the fuck is going on. And they're looking for guidance nonstop that they're not getting. And then they get frustrated.
Yeah, no, I've seen that in my own marriage.
Thing. Yeah.
I was raised by grandparents that were born in 1925. So I am several generations behind, right? We get shit done. The end, right? My husband was raised by very 1950s Catholic Church, Boy Scout attending 4-kid family. And I just run it until he says something. And I'm like, well, if you want to do something different, fucking tell me. I don't care. Whatever, you know. So it's really interesting because I have pre-generational kind of training versus somebody who's the same age as me. It's really interesting to watch.
Yeah,
I get that because I have a lot of that with my husband too. Like, I wasn't raised that way, but my mom, you know, we had a community that was raising us, and there were a lot of elders involved, and they trained us with a lot of that. So, you know, I think like that too. I mean, we were canning and freezing, and we took the whole garden out of the backyard and like put it away. And so I know how to do that. I know how to make the pickles. I know how to like use every little thing. I was the one who was trained.
Oh, look at X. Sorry, Neethi. Look at his camera.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, X. Rainbow.
So cool.
Oh.
Nice.
That's gorgeous.
It looks moving now.
Awesome.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Now we got you back.
Good. Yeah. So the storm's done. The rainbow's out. And what you're saying, I actually like the Boy Scouts, but I think that you're so right. Like everybody's looking for somebody else to tell them what to do, and the people who think for themselves and are just motivated and do, like, they're either psychopaths or they're freaking like agorists, right? And like
Or
we
both.
are out
Or
here,
both.
yeah, and we're out here trying to do, and real skills that like 10 years ago we were on, but people were like, that's nuts. Why would you be doing that? And there was that lone voice out in the wilderness, freaking Jack Spirko, yelling at everybody in their car while he was doing his podcast, and kind of galvanizing people to get involved in their own fucking lives and giving them permission to start building and preparing and making their lives better, because they can control these little things. That, like, how do we get up every morning? Like, just having the confidence that if everything fell apart, I could then figure out what I need to do because I'd have time and I wouldn't have to worry about toilet paper and or food. You know what I mean? And just having that buffer gives so much confidence. It allows us to actually think, okay, what's next, right? To think rationally and build and do what makes us feel good about life and makes us feel involved in our own lives and that it's worth living, so that we can notice things like these rainbows.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I see like 4 of those a year.
One more reason to be over there in Florida.
Yeah, this is like a regular Florida occurrence. It rains for like 15 minutes, like crazy, and then
beautiful rainbow.
I don't think I can live in Florida.
I can. I want to be there so bad.
Too hot.
I'm like, if I didn't build this whole world over here already, I'd be right there.
There's a such thing as too hot for me.
Yeah, it is. Like, you can't get like colder. At least in the cold you can put on layers. But like, I'm such a warm-blooded tropical dude. Like, I can't stand the snow. I like being in the snow. I don't like being in the snow for more than a couple days. And if I have to wear long johns for like 6 months out of the year, fucking forget it.
I'm also very done with the cold, so I don't know what to do with myself.
Oh, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do the cold. We had made a conscious decision. We're never going to live north of Virginia.
You need to move to the Mediterranean.
Yes.
Ooh.
Hey, I was just before Rona, my brother had sent me some link to buy basically like an apartment you would see on the fucking Life of Brian, right? In like some super, super ancient biblical town in Italy. And it wasn't much. And I'm sure there was a shitload of strings attached and weirdness, but I was like, man, if I could just it was like 10 grand or something, but there was a lot of stipulations because, you're dealing with that government. But it was interesting. It would have been cool. I would hit my head on the ceiling a lot, I think, but it would have been cool to live in
a cave.
All I would have done was walk around all day and quote Life of Brian. That's all I would have been able to do with my life. I just walked around saying shit, like singing "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life," and whistling at people. It would have been a great time.
Kabonk's in for the change of seasons. Yeah, there's something.
Yeah, they're fine. Well, and we're doing that right now, and it is nice. But the only reason change of season is nice because it's not going to be fucking cold anymore.
No, I'm so upset. It's like cutting my ski season short, and I'm really not happy about it.
You can always go up to the hill.
I'm too fat to ski.
It's melting my snow up there. It's
so funny. Oh my god.
You should see some of the guys that ski up there. You forget it. You'd be fine.
I ski all over the place here. I don't. I see that's all the Massachusetts plates.
Oh yeah. I can try. Jesus Christ, the tickets now are like $200 a day or some crazy.
Dude, no, you guys. I spent like 2 months mortgage on ski passes for next year because I have a ski school kid and I really don't have a choice.
That's ridiculous. Teach him how to walk up the hill. It's free.
Well, yeah, but he can't do ski team without a pass.
This is nice. I'm not going to teach my kid to ski. Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Well,
here's a fishing pole.
Yeah, fishing's great.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's my goal. So if we want to, topic. Yeah. So that's my other thing though is I yesterday officially am no longer a season ticket holder of the Buffalo Bills.
Yay!
Oh yeah, D-Day
taking that money, and we're gonna do some family trip type stuff with it. But the goal, I've decided I have to shift to. Well, I've done two things. Dowie Farm officially sponsored the only place I could find nearby that didn't require a COVID shot to attend their theater. So we have we put our money where our mouth is, and we have some of that stuff going on.
Theater, right?
Trying to get involved in that because they'll do like youth theater classes and stuff. So when the boy gets a little older, he can maybe see if he likes that. And then the boat's gonna get fixed up. We're gonna do a lot of fishing this year. Maybe I'll get into hunting. I don't like to kill shit. It's a thing for me. and I'm bad at hunting, but maybe I'll get into it this year. I don't know. But fishing's going to happen. I have no issue slitting the throat of a fucking codfish that comes out of 300 feet of water so that the meat tastes better. But for some reason, pulling the trigger on Bambi, I can't. It's a problem for me. But yeah, so that's the plan this year is outdoors related recreation. Okay, that's lower cost, obviously. But I figure that'll break us away from the bullshit. And then because of the theater involvement thing, I'll get free tickets to like comedy shows and stuff, which I like to do. So that'll be nice. But that's how we're pivoting.
These are all great techniques.
Yeah.
Yep, those are all great techniques for cutting out the bullshit and staying focused, right?
I love it.
Like
there's no bullshit on a boat in the middle of a lake.
Humble, good things that keep you positive. Exactly.
What are you teaching your kids this year, X? What do you got?
We've got fencing, we've got acting and theater, we've got wilderness skills, and I think I'm going to start a private 8th grade academy, Xavier's Academy for the Gifted, for my 13-year-old, and I'm going to take Jack's advice and charge $1,000 and then have them come along with, get their parents to sign off on our social media, like being able to have them on our campaigns and stuff, and then include them in the building of Fire On and do like a behind the scenes, like every day, like you know.
I would totally send my kid to that.
Oh my god, I would
send
people there.
Oh,
you're good, X, go.
Hey, X,
yeah, they're gonna have to wear uniforms and learn etiquette and business and taxes.
Nice.
What?
I'm moving
badass.
Like right now.
Right there. He's on the way.
I might need to attend that.
Yeah, I mean, I have an 18-year-old that should come down and work with UX in Florida. He would love being in Florida too. And he dresses. He loves to dress.
What's that ball of yellow shit on your screen, X? I don't.
Sunshine? Is that sunshine?
I don't understand what that thing is.
That's the sunshine.
Oh, I thought you had some
Florida sunshine.
For me, that would be like a little snow on the screen or something. It's actually nice this week. Like we're mid-50s and sunny this week, and it's beautiful. But yeah.
Yeah, that's my hand covering it.
All it does is make me want to fish. So yeah, cool, man. No, I want to get the boy out in the woods, you know. That's where I grew up.
Come to Squatch Fest.
That's the way to do it. Yep.
Squatch Fest.
We
some quads or something.
I'm trying to get to Nicole and John Willis's thing.
So, are you coming in June?
I'm trying. Well, it was mentioned in the house. That's as far as we've gotten. Nice. I was like, hey, there's a thing going on in Tennessee. If we ever want to check out Tennessee, this is a good opportunity to go check it out. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And that's been the extent.
You should do that. Like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we'll see.
It'll be really good. You should come.
It's hard to leave this thing that I have going on here. That's the problem.
I know. But you gotta have a team. I'm building a team. I'm super excited because now I have an amazing new CSA manager, and like it's freeing me up so I can do that. But it was really hard, and I know like it's hard to find people who want to actually do something. So I get it, but
I have weird obstacles. I have an angry dog that doesn't get along with anybody.
You need like a stewardship program, and then what you do is you get them familiar, and have a stewardship program for at least a couple of years, and then maybe they graduate, or you do it for a summer.
The only problem is anybody on my property turns into a dog food program.
Oh my gosh!
No, she's okay, but I don't trust her to not bite people.
K-Bong said Fire on Kids. I would sign my kid
I like that idea.
Yeah, I like Fire on Kids. I mean, can they be
Fire on Scholars?
Can they be 19? Can you do 2?
Canadians? Are they still in Canada? Is that still
there's no Canadians allowed here. No. Oh, I don't think he can hear us.
We can't hear him.
He can hear us.
Oh,
you can hear us. Okay. Yeah, no, I love the Fire on Kids idea. I mean,
I can hear you, but it like I can hear you every.
Just like we can hear you.
Yeah.
There's a big lag, and I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. It's like, yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good, man.
Facebook has Messenger Kids, and I'm not a huge fan of my kid having a Messenger account.
Oh, yeah, I set that up for I don't remember why.
Okay. It's fine, but I was
There's
totally
kids for everything. There's like, so Alex, like we have like the stupid YouTube thing for him because he likes to watch those dancing vegetables when we're trying to actually do something else. And so like I had to put the kids.
Yeah, but listen, this is very important. You have to be very careful with that. Like unsupervised time on there is scary because they have found that the bad words, it's like 60% more gets shown to those kids on purpose. Yes. And they're being exposed to shit that they don't even think about. Yeah, you got to be super duper careful.
So I turned off autoplay.
There's no YouTube in my house.
I turned off autoplay on this. So literally all we do is it's the sensory videos with the music, right? And I killed autoplay because fucking some weird SJW Sesame Street episode came on, which makes me fucking angry because I grew up on Sesame Street.
Is not the way. It is not the way.
I grew up on Sesame Street and it used to be good. Now it's fucking bullshit. So I'm off looking for old DVDs of Woody Woodpecker and shit now. So I can show my kid cool stuff.
I know we like to eat on Disney, but Disney Plus has original Muppets, original Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have pirated Disney Plus because I won't give them cocksuckers my money.
Right? Of course.
There's always a workaround.
Yeah. But I mean, even that, you got to watch the Disney. Have you ever just
I do like Fraggle Rock.
Hey, Dowie, have you ever listened to any of the Disney stuff and not been in the room? Like if I was one day in the bathroom and I was getting ready and the kids were with my husband watching in the bedroom, right? So they were listening, they were watching it while I was getting ready. I was just listening to it. And the sounds of the tones of the voices and the music were so evil. And then I was like, and like I wouldn't have probably noticed it if I'd have been in there watching it. You know, my husband didn't realize it, right? And I was like, oh my gosh. And then the next time I did an experiment with my husband and me and him just listened and didn't watch one of the episodes and they all have these, like, listen to it and don't watch it and then tell me you don't feel like, ooh, what's going on?
Like the way they mix the sound and stuff, like so the rule in my house is you can't watch anything that's going to annoy mama. That's the standard.
Yeah, I like that. So, I grew up on very little of that stuff. Like I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, so fucking cult. I'm not Seventh-day Adventist now, needless to say, because I like to eat fucking pigs. So no, I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, so there was no Saturday morning cartoons for me really, unless I like snuck out and watched them. Ooh, that's the only time I've ever seen Fraggle Rock. But
you guys,
and then very controlled media in my house. There wasn't a lot going on as far as those movies go, and you know what? I'm okay for it. So I don't necessarily need all this bullshit involved in his life. Like he's not a TV kid. This is literally like she's harvesting. I've got him in the morning. I got to go outside and do the, feed the ducks and pick up eggs. It's 18 degrees outside. You need to sit in your little bouncy chair and watch dancing vegetables for 20 minutes while I do this. Yeah, that's it. But I don't need these Disney movies now, man. It's they all seem dumb as shit to me anyway.
Yeah.
Like
my wife, but I just break down the stuff. Just listen to the sound. And you know what's even funnier is your child might be excited about watching it with almost no sound, or in Chinese or something, or Japanese or some other language. Like because you can put like the language things on there, and it's a trip because they'll watch it anyway, and they're listening and watching, but they could be learning a whole nother language at the same time.
I put on. I mean, at that age, like when mine was tiny, I literally would put on like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like whatever.
I put it on with no sound, and I have a good playlist on the evil spy, the Google spy machine. But I have a good playlist on there that plays like Tom Petty and stuff. And so I'll throw on the thing on mute, and it'll play good classic rock. So
so it's.
I just have them watching Predator from an early age. Like on
my house is. It's all Mel Brooks, Monty Python, and Tim Curry. That's
it's fantastic. He likes Jack. He likes to watch Jack. He likes to watch Scotty Kilmer in the morning. He's a car guy that I watch in the morning. Cool. And then sometimes when I'm not home for a while, she'll put my videos on. So he likes that. So it's all
that's nice too.
Watch Baseline with me. He thinks the best thing.
Yeah, my kids were watching Baseline with us. That was fun.
Yeah.
Baseline will come back. It will come back as soon as everything Yeah, like I just have to get over this one hurdle, and then it's back on. And I'm gonna do like the Hawk Talks are just me ranting in a car, and then we're gonna have like a focused one called Fire On, where we talking about tech and solutions and like interviewing cool people and stuff like that.
You know why Baseline's coming back?
Why?
Because you always fucking win. That's why.
Every day I win.
No matter what.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you were saying.
I hear Al
modified it.
Pacino saying that when you say that is what
I
I
New
hear.
Englandized it.
I hear Al Pacino and Devil's Advocate saying, "I win. I would fucking win."
Right?
Oh my gosh. We're coming on an hour and a half. Should we kind of
let's do
start
it.
some wrapping around that?
Do it.
I win. What are you
Let's
doing
do
to
it.
fucking kill it? And where do you want to
good.
and all that?
How to cut out all the noise is have a good fucking mantra that really is about what you do, what you will do, and what you will accomplish. And like, I mean, it's one thing to stay focused during like morning workouts or whatever, having that discipline, but having that positive inner voice and recognizing what stories that you're telling or that you're playing, that are not feeding you, not supporting you, and get rid of that shit.
Yes.
Too much negativity.
Yeah. I need some positivity.
Dowie, Neathy, somebody.
I need some, yeah.
I'll wrap
What do we do?
I always say, I have a mantra that says that, things are always working out for me. And I say that to myself all the time. I'm just like, things are always working out for me. Even when things don't seem like they're working out for me, they're always working out for me. And they are. Yep. They're always working out for me. And, I really need help. I really need help. I've been saying that. And I didn't just get help. I didn't just get someone who joined our team. I got somebody who I've known for years. She knew Mina, who is the angel wings up here. And, my daughter that we lost, she knew my daughter. She's, her husband and my husband, like we can be couple friends, which is awesome. So it's kind of like we refound some friends from a long time ago. And, nice. And they've been part of the food church, as eaters. And, it's kind of like we just she said, I just think I'm ready to be on the hook for something. And she was asking me if I ever needed any help. And I was like, girl, are you serious right now? Because don't play with me. Because I really need help. So, I was just like, man, when the universe wants to surprise and delight me, it is like so powerful, like such a bigger than anything I would have ever imagined for myself. So if you just go around telling everybody all day long that you win or that things are always working out for you, or that is what you say it until you mean it and you believe it. And it's true. You have to believe it and then you'll see it.
I love it, man.
What are you up to?
Me? Okay. So I have a new mantra, and it's because I'm now jumping horses a decent height again. And I'm getting ready to do some shows. And so I get in my head a lot and I freak myself out when I don't need to. So my trainer kind of gave me a new mantra, and it works for life. It's pace, balance, and straightness. You got to be going at a steady pace. You need to be in balance, and you need to go straight to your goal. So it's in riding, it means the jump, because if you come to a jump crooked, you might die. So,
so there's that.
There's a lot of stuff you can't control, and her emphasis for me right now is focusing on the stuff you can control. If your horse is being a spaz, you can't really control that. But you can control yourself, your position, your pace, and your balance. And so that's my new mantra for this year, because I'm going to go win some horse shows, maybe.
Pace, balance, and straightness.
Yep.
That's badass.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got down?
Back in December, I got a nice case of the Rona. So before that, I was doing my, I think I talked about on the show about organizing my head by just sitting down every night and being like, tomorrow I got to do this, and then the day after that I have to do this, and then in 3 days, and then I'd go out 7 days, and at 7 days the likelihood of those things happening were low, but it didn't matter because I kept all the shit in my head, right? And then I got the Rona, and then I was pretty fucked up for like 3 weeks, and then I never got back to it, and I don't know why. And I mentioned that today to my wife, and I was like, I got to do that again. Like, I've got to start just getting all the stuff that I got to do in my head so it's fresh, because unless I do that, I wake up every day and I'm chasing,
Yeah.
And I'm not an organized person at all. So this was like the most rudimentary organization possible for me.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked better than nothing. So I'm always chasing otherwise. So I've got to get myself back to there. That'll help me stay focused and happy. And
everything that is mine comes to me, right? Like that's another good one too, John. Like, because I was chasing a lot, like scramble chasing, right? Like freaking out, like I have a budget for the year and it's dwindling and I need to accomplish this thing, right? And like that frantic energy does not help. And then you're chasing, the universe is like, oh, keep chasing that. But so two things to that, like I have a goal, a specific number that's in my head that when I'm doing my planks in the morning, I am thinking about that number, right? Like focus time on a goal, like you're talking about the day before. And then also, you know, what is mine comes to me. And like, really, like when I remember that one, things just happen synchronistically.
Nice.
It's
so wait,
true. Yeah.
Do I have to start doing planks in the morning?
No.
And you got to put a whiteboard in your shower.
I won't be on the show next week, folks. I'll be in the hospital. From attempting planks.
It's you know, that was my thing for the year was alignment. Like if I'm fixing to go do something, like as is all that energy I'm about to go expend really in alignment with my one true goal.
Right.
And if it's not, I'm moving forward. Gotta go. So yeah, even just and that goes with Patty's thing with the pace, right? It just slows you down just a little bit. Think about what you're doing before you go jumping and killing yourself.
Yeah. You got to line up, man. You have to, you know, remember who you are, you know, remember your power and know that, you know, things that the universe is out here to serve you. I mean, it's about love, and love is the divine solvent of everything. So, you know,
when you're on the right path, you're alignment, boom, go.
That's right.
Does anybody want to pitch anything or leave it there? What do you got, Neethi?
Okay, reserve the date for October 15th weekend. Come to North Carolina to the very first Food Church Conference. And, you know, I'm working out all the details. We're going to do it on Grass Graze. We've got Daniel Soliton, who's going to be down here. We have Dr. Ken Berry is going to be coming, and he'll be here with us. The Jacksons are going to be speaking. I'm going to be speaking. Pardon me?
Michael Jackson?
Oh, no. Sorry. It's going to be Derek and Paige Jackson of Grass.
Because if you're going to get Michael Jackson to speak, I'll fucking be there no matter what.
Yeah. That would be some impressive shit. So October 15th, can we get the tickets on your website yet?
Not yet. I'm actually working on it. Just reserve the date, please. Reserve that weekend. So Friday night, we're going to have a special VIP dinner with the speakers. Saturday is going to be an all day on the farm. And, you know, I'm actually seeking anybody who wants, you know, all the health coaches that are out there. I'm calling all health coaches, all natural medical professionals come, and also anybody who's interested in, you know, getting into regenerative farming itself or operating like a food church. You want to be there.
Nice.
I'm also seeking any vendor sponsors or anyone who wants to come out there. You know, like, honestly, Patricia, it's a place you should have a booth or a table or something. And awesome. I don't know that all those people don't want to maybe be part of Fire On. And I think everybody has a way. And Brian, you just have to come because also why does Brian need to come? Because a lot of people are not going to necessarily be right over here. They might be closer to you and they need a coffee guy. So, you know, definitely they need, I mean, I think and Dally, you should just come because we got to hang out. I mean, if you can come down, that would be so fun.
October 15th.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's a long way away from me.
It's time. You have time to plan it.
That's like 7 months.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Remind everybody, hit the like button and all that. And such a reminder for
I was gonna do my Tim Pool impression, but I never
go ahead.
I never get it right.
Do it.
What is it? What is these? It's I can never get the wording right. That's the problem. It's shit. Whatever. Fucking that's over. Smash the like and subscribe button. Is that what it is? Smash that like and subscribe button.
Yeah, and also save the video. there's a option at the very right side of the screen. Save the video. That's actually a really good thing for the algorithm when you do.
Oh,
that.
really?
Yep.
So you're saying if you
save it to a
video
watch later
to a
list?
hard drive and then just delete it, it just
No. Like
No, it just saves it to like a watch later.
oh
Yeah, exactly. It's your favorites list. Yep.
So why does that help?
Because it's more engagement. It's actually like they rate that higher than commenting or liking or sharing, because
Really?
that means that's something that you want to refer. Yeah, and it's a guaranteed bring you back, right?
Huh.
Nice. That's cool. Good to know.
bam. Okay.
I didn't know that shit.
On all of the platforms, like literally on all the platforms. So I
just
found that
save
out
it.
by
That's
owning a
great.
platform. So.
Oh,
Cool.
and that
Yeah, man.
reminds me, Tim the Tool Man is trying to get Micro on his show, or Micro vice versa.
I would die.
Yeah, go on Tim the Tool Man's YouTube. There's a little 45-second video of him like throwing it out there. So spamify everything. And I think the hashtag he's using is Do Me Dirty Mike.
I emailed Tim Pool last night to get Spearco on, even though I'm doing this all rogue. Spearco has no idea.
Good. Dude.
So there's that. And I just want to know, if X gets his own platform, is he going to plank on his platform?
No, but what I will do is give everybody an opportunity to be on the platform so that they can put their stuff behind a paywall if they want. And if they want to reach their full subscriber base, you can reach everybody, not just like 1%. Like, you can reach everybody.
I'm in.
Yes. All right. Well, should we give him a good honk? All right. Honk.
Honk, honk, man.
See you guys.
Honk,
Have a great
honk.
week. See you next week. Bye. Honk, honk.